This is the plaintiff, Jesse Reed. He says his former roommates, the defendants, are giving him the Royal Runaround, not returning his security deposit. They're telling him he has to wait to get it, and also told him they're going to deduct money for toilet paper. Say what? Bottom line, he knows the law and is positive what they're doing is illegal. So he's suing for the $700 he's owed. These are the defendants, Douglas White and Josh Beresford. They say the plaintiff was a terrible roommate who never bought toilet paper, and when they stopped buying it, he used paper towels and clogged up the toilet. When they stopped providing paper towels, he peed on the seat and claimed he didn't have anything to clean it up with. What a moron. They were willing to return his security, but are going to deduct cleaning services from it for sure. They're accused of not caving in.
All parties, please raise your right hand. You see it? Come forward, please. Litigants have been sworn, Your Honor.
Thank you, Douglas.
You're welcome.
Okay, is it Jesse Reed?
Yes.
Okay, you are suing your former roommates, Douglas White and Josh Beresford?
Yes.
All right. For $700 in a security deposit that they have not returned to you that you feel they owe you. Tell me what's going on.
I moved in with them June 30th of 2010. I met them on Craigslist. I was living in California at the time. And I saw them on Craigslist. They had an ad for a room for $700, everything included, utilities, energy, all of that.
So you move in and it's summer of 2010?
Yes.
And then what happens?
I lived there for we lived on Bedford Avenue for 5 months and everything was fine.
Your rent was $700 a month?
Yes, I paid $1,400 upon moving in.
For first and security?
Yes.
Okay.
And here are all my pay stubs and a receipt for $1,400.
Okay. All right, and then everything works out fine until it doesn't. What goes wrong?
Around November, they told me they were looking to move to a better place.
Okay.
And they were interested in me moving with them because they liked me and they couldn't afford to live anywhere without a third person living there. I told them I would be willing to move as long as it was still $700, and I said, that's fine. Around at the end of November, they told me they had found a place and they were moving in December. I moved over there with them.
Did you ever take a look at it to see if you liked it?
No, they showed. I just trusted them.
Okay.
They showed me the place finally, and I liked it. And I moved at the end of December. So I moved in, everything was fine, and they started having money issues. They had to rewire the apartment. We didn't have internet or anything for like the first month or so we lived there. They were struggling to keep up. And then they started.
Was this a much nicer place?
It was a much nicer place.
Okay.
Everything was fine. They seemed to get back on their feet. And around the end of March, they called me into the living room and they told me that the rent would be increased. They showed me a copy of the receipt for rent, and an electricity bill, other bills, and they told me that they were barely able to keep up, and they were going to have to increase the rent to $1,100 a month. And they asked if I could pay that, and I said no. And they said, well, their friend was willing to move in and pay that amount, and I would need to move out by the end of the month. And I said, okay, that's fine.
Now this is when, March?
This was the end of March.
End of March, they tell you got to move out in a few days?
No, they told me I had a month.
Okay, so
Yeah.
at the end of April you needed to move out,
Yes,
all right?
by May 1st. Within the week, I had found a new place to live. So the month went on, everything was fine.
So you stayed to the end of the month, then you move out, and
The
then
last day I was there, we all have separate work schedules, so I mainly just saw Doug. So Doug came home that evening as I'd been packing my boxes and prepared to move. I called a taxi. Doug offered to help move anything once the taxi got there, and I said I'd hold him up on that. And then I asked him about the security deposit, and he said, oh, about that. It's in an account, and it's going to take at least a month or two to get out, and we'll have to pay penalties if we have to get it out early. So we don't have it right now, but when the new guy moves in, he's going to pay first month's rent and security, and we're going to give you your $700 back, but you'll have to wait until next week. I'd already called the taxi. I didn't have time to argue about it, so I said, okay, that's fine.
Now, since then, have you made any effort to try to collect the money, and you've been met with what? They don't return your calls?
Yeah.
Okay, but talk to me and tell me what's going on. I'll be back with you in a second. I want to hear what's going on. Which of you wants to address it?
Okay, so Jesse moved in, it's all correct. He gave us the $1,400. We moved into the new place in December. We had internet and TV actually hooked up within 2 weeks.
Had you said to him that he could continue to pay the $700?
We did. We told him he could continue to pay $700. Actually, the first month of our when we moved in, it was a brand new building. We were the first people to live in the apartment. The heat wasn't working, so we actually only paid half month's rent for the first month rent. Like the landlord just told us, you haven't had heat, I'm not going to charge you for the full month. We had internet, we had TV. Literally within a week of us moving in, we had to have them come in and rewire our apartment for the internet. I don't know why he bought. That was not money out of us.
What's going on with why you then changed the deal on it?
Okay, in February, once we started to actually realize how much our rent was, how much the electric bill. Our electric bill used to be $30 a month, and it jumped to literally $300 a month.
Why do you suppose that was?
Because our old building, it was radiator. This building we had central air, central heat, washing, dryer in the in our apartment, dishwasher.
You didn't see this coming?
No, I did not see this coming. And actually, we contacted Con Edison, and our apartment is 1,200 square feet. So they're like, yeah, you're actually living in basically a house.
Yeah.
This is what that's kind of what your electric bill is going to be. In February, we mentioned this to Jesse that we're going to need to increase our rent. Jesse then came back 2 weeks later and started I had heard an argument with him and Josh a night, or I forgot what they were arguing about something.
What were you arguing about?
I think it was because our cat peed on his clothes.
Wait, hold on. Don't go. The two of you had an argument when we were discussing the upping of the rent?
Right, and he told me about the argument.
Wait, stop talking. Press the off button on you. Go ahead.
I don't remember the argument, honestly.
He's testifying. Put your hand down. He mentioned it to the people's court judge. So obviously it is noteworthy enough in his head that he would mention it at this forum, but you claim not to remember the argument? Listen. Were you told not to talk? Huh? Did he tell you, let me do the talking? Is that why you're telling me you don't know what we're talking about?
No, there was argument.
I don't remember. What was the argument about?
It was probably about the cat peed on his clothes.
And then what happened? He got mad?
Yeah, well, of course.
And then what happened?
I don't remember, with what? I'm not I really.
So they
don't
dropped
remember.
it, and what happened was
he's just going to steamroll right over my questions.
Well, it was dropped.
Hold on 1 second.
Sit down.
So
I'll let you know when I'm talking to you. Go ahead.
So that's my.
Is he going to law school or something? Is that why he keeps talking over you?
I don't know. No,
okay,
he doesn't
go ahead.
go to law school. He just likes to talk.
Just talk to me. Tell me what was going on with the roommate situation here. You guys are keeping $700 of the guy's security deposit. I want to understand why you're doing it.
I think some should be subtracted off.
That's what I want to hear. Talk to me about that.
Should be subtracted off for the way the room was left.
Okay.
It was horrible. And all the times, there was even a point, Doug told me this, I wasn't there, but he said Jesse came out to grab toilet paper, and he said, what are you doing? He said, to pretty much wipe my butt, with the toilet paper, or with the...
be it its intended use, but go ahead.
Yeah, and then he was like, well, why don't you buy some toilet paper?
Okay.
This is from the car. I wasn't there.
Right. Were you guys on edge towards the end when it was obvious he was no longer going to be the roommate?
A little bit because of all the cat pee and stuff.
The cat pee stuff.
Yeah.
Did he ever whose cat is it?
Ours.
Okay. Did he ever yell at you guys about the cat pee?
A little bit, and he just wanted to wash. He tried to wash all his clothes, but half of them were my clothes anyway that I gave to him.
What do you mean your clothes?
No.
That you're giving him?
Clothes I was getting rid of, and then I gave it to him.
Okay. So you don't feel he should complain about cat pee on clothes that you gave him?
Well, with the way his room was, it's understandable.
Why? Do you have pictures you want to show me?
Oh, yeah, there's some pictures.
Okay, come on up, Douglas. Why are you keeping this man's money? Tell me what grounds you have to keep.
As I was saying, so we told Jesse, I mentioned to Jesse in February, the end of February, beginning of March, that we were going to have to increase the rent. 2 weeks later, he came to me and started crying that he had got fired from his job, he couldn't afford to move out, he couldn't afford to pay the rent increase. So then I told Jesse, okay, well, our rent is we're increasing the rent. We didn't say $1,100, we said $900, which is what our current roommate pays now. And I told Jesse, then you can stay until our new roommate moves in, but I'm going to deduct the difference from your deposit.
You can't make somebody agree to a rate.
Well, then he needed to get out then. If he wasn't going to pay the rent.
No, that's not how it works, sweetie.
Well, I mean, if I'm telling you that...
You guys have read the law, right?
I read the law.
So
he had 30
you know
days
that you can't say, get out! Right now,
no, I didn't tell him to get out. I told him that I needed to increase the rent.
You need to give him 1 month's notice to get out. If you're going to change a month to month, I assume there's no lease and it was a month to month tenancy.
It was a month to month.
It was a month to month
tenancy.
Right.
So you need to give him a full month's notice that you're going to change the terms, and therefore you can either stay and take it on my terms, which are $900 or $1,100 or $5,000, whatever it's going to be. You can stay and take it on my terms, or you have a month to find another place.
Which is what I told him.
You can't say...
I didn't tell him to get out. I told him that I needed to increase the rent, and if you cannot move out, then I'm going to deduct this from your deposit.
Okay, so now, you tell him that when?
Like the beginning of whenever, I don't remember exactly when he got fired, but I feel like it was the beginning of March. Yeah, it was the beginning of March.
And according to you, he did not tell you that in the beginning of March.
No, everything they just said is not true.
Okay, whether it's the beginning of March or the end of March, both sides say it happens in March, right?
Yes.
And when you say the beginning of March, you don't mean the end of February, you mean March.
Right, yeah, exactly March,
okay.
Correct.
Now, if you have to give him 30 days notice, you then give him 30 days notice in sometime in March.
Correct.
That gives him till the end of April to get out, because you got to give a full 30 days notice. Now, let me ask you a question. One of the things you say in your answer to the complaint is that you started to deduct $200 from his security deposit to make up the difference because you wanted $900 rent. So what months are you laying claim to $200 of the security deposit?
The month of April. Because he moved out at the end of April.
And so you feel that even though you didn't give him notice until sometime in March, that was sufficient to raise his rent in April without giving him a full 30 days?
Yes. I mean...
No.
Okay.
Right. You get it, though, right? You understand what I'm trying to explain to you?
And welcome back to the People's Court. Harvey Levin here. So if a roommate signs a lease and then moves another guy in, and can that roommate tell the other one, hey, I'm raising your rent in the middle of that lease that I got?
Well, yeah, if he gives them the notice of it.
Do you have to even give them notice if it's your apartment and you're the one that rented it?
I believe so, yeah, 30-day notice, I would think.
With 30 days, you can, even if you're in the middle of a longer lease, you can do it after 30 days.
I don't think so. I think the person whose name is on the lease has the right to raise the rent or not because the other person didn't sign anything.
Fair enough. Fair enough. Going inside the courtroom.
So, you know, after he moved out, I never told him anything about, like, the money's in some kind of account. Like, I don't know where he got that from. Like, I don't even, like, we have a joint account.
That sort of sounds like the kind of thing that side would say, though. Neither of you told him the money's in escrow.
No, like, I don't even know what an escrow account is. Like, we have our own, like, joint, like, checking account. I never told him that.
What do you guys do for a living?
I'm an assistant buyer, and he's an actor.
What do you do for a living?
I'm an actor and a writer.
Okay.
And a waiter.
Well, every actor's a waiter when they start off. I mean...
Anyway, so he called me like 2 days later and demanded the money. Like, and I have text messages where he texted me. He was like, oh, like, your cat ruined my clothes. And I said, Jesse, you know, we were at our old apartment. Your boyfriend came in and stole $600 worth of sunglasses from me. But did I say anything to you about that? No, I told you. Did I ever
that's what happened?
Because no one ever comes into my apartment, but his boyfriend was there. We don't have people coming into our apartment. The only one that came in was his boyfriend. He can shake his head, but he knows it happened. A pair of D-squared glasses and a pair of Marc Jacobs glasses were stolen from me.
Okay, so let's put aside the glasses, let's put aside the cat pee, and let's go straight to why you're keeping the money, because I have yet to hear a single thing that would authorize you to do it. I'm about to rule.
Well, he left the place a mess. Like, when he moved out, he left. So when we moved from Bedford Avenue...
These are pictures of while he lived there, right?
Yeah, this is while he lived there. So when he...
Do you have pictures of how he left the place that would justify you in keeping any money?
No, because the day he moved out, our roommate moved in the next day, so I cleaned the room up as soon as he left.
Of all the dirt in the apartment that I swept up, this is the after. I left the furniture in the apartment that they gave me, that it came with the room.
Okay.
This is the dirt, here's the room.
Okay, so I'm pretty ready to rule, because I have yet to hear a single word on why you're going to keep it.
The furniture was he bought from the old apartment that we thought was trash. Yeah, you did. How did the white furniture get there?
You gave me it.
Okay.
The furniture he bought from the old place, we hired someone to come in and clean. Like, we have a cleaning service that cleans our apartment. She came in and, like, disinfected his room and everything.
Mr. White and Mr. Beresford, you got to return this fellow's money. The bottom line is there's not a word out of all the thousands of words that came out of Mr. White's mouth, or the 100 or 200 that came out of yours, that justifies keeping any of the money. So I am going to order you to repay the $700 verdict for the plaintiff.
Thank you, Your Honor.
check what the defendant has to say for himself coming out of this courtroom, and his cohort over here. What's your reaction to this outcome?
You know, Jesse, you know, I really don't have anything to say, honestly.
Yeah, I just think the whole situation is ridiculous.
What? Yeah.
Well, how quick, like, I'm like, I got a lawsuit within 2 weeks from when he moved out.
Yeah, it's just, it doesn't make sense.
Well, how did the friendship here, this roommate friendship, how'd this thing go south so fast?
Well, I mean,
we moved into a new apartment. It was a great apartment, an amazing apartment. Like, he's never once bought toilet paper, paper towels. It got so bad that we literally started to hide our toilet paper so he wouldn't use it because he would never buy it, even
That's
after
a little
we told
strange,
him to buy
don't you think?
Exactly. So what he did was he started to like use toilet paper in the toilet and stuff. I mean, it just got to be really bad.
All right. Okay,
Paper towels, yeah, sorry.
Guys.
Okay, just head right around the corner there. All right, come on out here. What a weird dispute, you know?
Yeah, I had no problem living with them, but they are liars, and justice has been served. Their entire story was false. They're just...
What's this paper business they're talking? I mean, is that
I bought toilet paper. I bought all my supplies. I'm a grown man. I can pay for my own things. I never shared my toilet paper with them because I got the message, but justice has been served.
How's the acting career going?
I'm just studying right now, so...
Harvey?
Okay, I can make this short and sweet. You cannot change a deal in the middle of the term, period. And that will do it for this case. Litigants for the next case on the way into the courtroom right now.